Yes, you are about to get completely hooked on the video you just clicked. Why? Because it's packed with 69 fascinating, hilarious, and downright random facts that you never knew you needed in your life. Now, here's a teaser. Which peculiar obsession of vampires inspired Sesame Street's Count Von Count? Why did a Finnish pizzeria declare revenge on Vladimir Putin with a special pizza? And what happens if you fold a piece of paper 103 times? By the end of this video, you'll know the answers to all those questions, and so much more. So sit back, relax, and let the randomness wash over you like a warm, bubbly lava bath. Not too hot, I hope. Let's go! Fact number 1. The Mafia crime drama. The Sopranos was so accurate in its depiction of mob life that it startled the FBI. Agents monitoring mobsters via wiretaps often heard them discussing the show the following Monday after it aired on Sundays. The mobsters were amazed by the accuracy, with some even suspecting that the show's creators had an inside informant. Fact number 2. Rock and roll legend Elvis Presley was known for wearing necklaces featuring symbols from various religions. When asked about this unique accessory choice, he explained that he didn't want to risk missing out on heaven because of a technicality. Fact number 3. In Japan, people who turn 100 years old traditionally receive a silver cup from the Prime Minister to honor their longevity. However, with the growing number of centenarians in the country, the government has started to issue silver-plated cups instead to keep up with demand. Fact number 4. The Japanese electronics giant Samsung wasn't always in the tech business. It originally started as a company selling noodles. It wasn't until 1970 that they ventured into electronics. Fact number 5. Ever wondered why a second is called a second? It's because it's the second division of an hour by 60, the first division being a minute. But that does make you wonder, why aren't minutes called firsts instead? Well, timekeeping can be quirky like that. I don't make the time rules, I just follow them, no matter how confusing they get. Fact number 6. Did you know Antarctica is actually the largest desert in the world, not the Sahara? Sounds crazy, right? Deserts are classified by their lack of moisture, not heat. Since everything in Antarctica is frozen solid and there's virtually no liquid moisture, it's officially the coldest and largest desert on Earth. Fact number 7. Here's a wild thought. One single man produces enough sperm to impregnate every woman on Earth. Yep, the sheer scale of this biological fact is absolutely mind-boggling. It's nature's way of over-preparing for survival, but also a reminder of just how incredibly potent our bodies are designed to be. Fact number 8. The hashtag we all know and love wasn't always called a pound sign. Its official name is actually the octothorpe. This term goes way back to the early days of telephone engineers. While its exact origins are still debated, the name adds a touch of history and mystery to our modern social media symbol. Fact number 9. Heard of Captain Morgan Rum? Turns out Captain Morgan was a real person, a Welsh pirate, to be precise. He later became the Lieutenant Governor of Jamaica. From swashbuckling pirate to government official, Captain Morgan truly lived a life of adventure, worthy of a toast and his iconic rum brand. Fact number 10. The Vatican Bank is truly one of a kind. It's the only bank in the world where you can carry out ATM transactions in Latin. Imagine withdrawing cash while brushing up on your ancient language skills. And while the part about marble account summaries is a joke, the Latin transactions are absolutely real and functional. Fact number 11. The largest snowflake ever recorded fell in Keogh, Montana in 1887, and it measured an astonishing 15 inches wide. That's larger than some birds and bigger than most people can even imagine. While it won't be mistaken for an airplane anytime soon, it's still an incredible and rare weather phenomenon. Fact number 12. In 1386, a pig in France, now infamously known as the Sow of Falaise, was dressed in human clothes, tried in court, and executed by hanging. Why? Because the pig had killed a child by eating its face. As bizarre and brutal as it sounds, medieval justice wasn't exactly known for being kind or rational, even to animals. Fact number 13. You've probably seen it in movies. Bad guys flicking lit cigarettes into puddles of gasoline to trigger dramatic explosions. Unfortunately, movies have lied to us. It's practically impossible to ignite gasoline with a lit cigarette. A group of researchers tried to replicate this in real life 2,000 times and failed every time. So don't try that one at home. Fact number 14. In 2012, a British man got so fed up with relentless cold callers that he came up with an ingenious solution. He legally changed his name to Tim Purr 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 Purr. His hilarious reasoning? He figured telemarketers would see his ridiculously long and absurd name on their lists and decide it wasn't worth the effort to call him. Fact number 15. Did you know that over an average human lifetime, a person produces enough saliva to fill not one, but 2 full-size swimming pools? That's right, your mouth works tirelessly every day to keep itself hydrated and functioning, creating around 1 to 2 liters of saliva daily. While this is fascinating, it's also slightly gross when you imagine those swimming pools filled with nothing but spit. Let's just hope no one takes this fun fact as inspiration for a new type of water park. Fact number 16. In the historic city of Kyoto, Japan, there are 5 temples with ceilings that carry a haunting secret. They're covered in bloody footprints. These ceilings were made using floorboards from a castle where a group of samurai warriors chose to end their own lives through seppuku, ritual suicide, rather than face the dishonor of being captured by their enemies. The bloodstains left behind are now preserved in these temples, with some clearly resembling human footprints. Fact number 17. Saturn, the majestic ringed planet, has a surprising property. It's so low in density that it could theoretically float in water. Of course, this would only be possible if you could find a tub of water large enough to hold the massive planet, which is over 120,000 kilometers in diameter. But here's the twist. If Saturn were submerged, its thick atmosphere would likely dissipate, and its rocky core would sink. So while the idea of a floating planet is fun to imagine, the reality of Saturn's structure would make it impossible. Fact number 18. Back in 1999, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, the brilliant minds behind Google, offered to sell their fledgling search engine to the web company Excite for less than $1 million. Shockingly, Excite turned them down, likely believing that Google wouldn't amount to much in the long run. Fast forward to today, and Google is worth hundreds of billions of dollars, dominating the internet and shaping the way we access information. Fact number 19. On the US-Canada border, there's a theater so unique that it's split between 2 countries. The stage is located on the US side, while much of the audience sits in Canada. This fascinating venue allows people to enjoy performances while technically being in different nations at the same time. However, as exciting as this setup might sound, the logistics can be a nightmare. With customs and border rules in play, even attending a simple show requires navigating international protocols. Fact number 20. For every human being on Earth, there are an estimated 1.6 million ants. Yes, you read that correctly. 1.6 million ants per person. This means there are approximately 100 trillion ants crawling around the planet. Their combined weight is believed to roughly equal the weight of all humans. Ants have mastered the art of survival, living in almost every environment and working together in highly organized colonies. Fact number 21. Speaking of ants, German scientists conducted one of the strangest experiments ever by attaching tiny pig hairs to the legs of individual ants, essentially creating miniature stilts for them. The goal? To see if ants could find their way back to their nests by counting their steps. The results were fascinating. The ants often overshot their nests by about 50%, proving that these tiny creatures rely on an internal pedometer to navigate. It's a quirky yet insightful look into the sophisticated methods ants use to survive. Fact number 22. Every year, over 1 million coins are tossed into Rome's iconic Trevi Fountain. But this isn't just a quirky tourist tradition. This money is collected and used for a good cause. The funds go toward maintaining a supermarket for the poor and needy, giving a charitable purpose to what might otherwise be just a fun cultural ritual. Fact number 23. When Britain switched paracetamol packaging from bottles to blister packs, deaths from intentional overdoses dropped by an astonishing 43%. Why? Because it's much harder to laboriously pop pills out of blister packs one by one than to pour them out of a bottle. This small change in packaging capitalized on a surprising truth about human behavior. Profound laziness can save lives. Fact number 24. In Norse mythology, there's a squirrel named Ratatoskr, whose sole purpose is to carry insults back and forth between a giant eagle and a dragon perched at opposite ends of the mythical world tree, Yggdrasil. Ratatoskr stirs the pot like no other, ensuring that neither creature ever gets along. A gossipy, chaos-loving squirrel. Sounds like someone we all know, doesn't it? Fact number 25. For a brief period in 1913, Vienna was home to Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, Leon Trotsky, Josip Broz Tito, and Sigmund Freud, all within 2 square-mile radius. These figures, whose lives shaped the 20th century in wildly different ways, were unknowingly living as neighbors in the Austrian capital. It's a strange, almost surreal historical coincidence that leaves you wondering what might have happened if they'd all bumped into each other at a local cafe. Fact number 26. Compared to other animals, humans might seem physically unimpressive. We can't fly, we're not venomous, and we don't have super speed. But our unique superpower is endurance. Over long distances, a well-trained human can outrun almost any animal on Earth. Early humans used this to their advantage, chasing prey for hours until the animals collapsed from sheer exhaustion. Fact number 27. In 2008, then-Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi criticized Finnish cuisine, mocking the delicacy of marinated reindeer. In response, a Finnish pizza restaurant called Coda Pizza created the Pizza Berlusconi, topped with tomato, cheese, chanterelle mushrooms, red onion, and, of course, reindeer. Their cheeky creation entered the America's Plate International Pizza Contest and won first place, beating the Italian-American team. Fact number 28, October 1994 was an unforgettable month for cinema. At the same time, theaters were showing some of the greatest films in history: Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, The Shawshank Redemption, Jurassic Park, and The Lion King. It was truly a golden era for moviegoers, offering a lineup that remains iconic even decades later. Fact number 29. Here's a surprising fact about big cats. Tigers, jaguars, and leopards are absolutely obsessed with the scent of Calvin Klein's obsession for men. Wildlife photographers use this fragrance to lure these majestic predators out of hiding for the perfect photo. Fact number 30. When Harrison Ford starred in Star Wars: A New Hope, the first film in the legendary series, he was paid a modest $10,000, a small sum for a movie that became a cultural phenomenon. Fast forward to The Force Awakens, the first installment of the sequel trilogy, and Ford's paycheck was a staggering $20 million. Fact number 31. In 2013, a Norwegian developer named Peter Swarovski created a quirky app called Send Me to Heaven. The premise? To turn throwing your smartphone as high into the air as possible into a competitive sport. Swarovski openly admitted that he designed the app with the goal of destroying as many smartphones as he could. Unsurprisingly, Apple banned it from the App Store, but it gained a cult following on Android, where daredevils risk their screens in the name of fun. Fact number 32. Despite popular belief, rice doesn't actually need to grow submerged in water. Farmers grow rice in flooded fields because rice plants can thrive underwater, while most weeds and pests cannot, giving the crop an advantage. This technique reduces the need for herbicides and creates ideal conditions for growing the staple grain we all enjoy in countless dishes worldwide. Fact number 33. NASA employs a clever duo of satellites nicknamed Tom and Jerry to measure gravitational anomalies on Earth. These satellites chase each other around the planet, using precise tracking of the distance between them to detect subtle changes in gravity caused by geological features or shifts in mass. Fact number 34. Between 1988 and 1991, former Ukrainian pole vaulter Sergei Bubka became a master of strategic world record breaking. He deliberately broke his own pole vault record by small increments, 14 times over 2 years to be exact, each time earning a $100,000 bonus. Fact number 35. Viking warriors used strong onion soup not as a cure-all, but as a diagnostic tool for battle wounds. After consuming the soup, if the smell of onions was detected coming from their injuries, it was a grim sign that their stomachs had been perforated and death was imminent. This practical, albeit morbid, test allowed their medics to focus efforts on those who still had a fighting chance of survival. Fact number 36. One of the lesser-known clauses in the 1781 U.S. Articles of Confederation, the precursor to the modern U.S. Constitution, declared that Canada could join the United States automatically if it chose to. At the time, Canada largely referred to Quebec, but the offer was never taken up. Imagine how different North America might have looked if history had changed. Fact number 37. Dolphins have been observed deliberately provoking pufferfish to release their defensive toxins, which can have a narcotic effect in small doses. Incredibly, they've even been seen passing the pufferfish around in what looks like a marine version of Puff Puff Pass. These playful and intelligent animals seem to know how to unwind after a long day in the ocean. Fact number 38. Wisconsin is known for its love of beer, and it shows in the numbers. Despite having 5% fewer people than California, Wisconsin boasts an equal number of bars. This translates to about 1 bar for every 1,862 Wisconsinites, compared to 1 bar for every 11,962 Californians. Wisconsin, you've truly earned your reputation as the nation's capital of pub culture. Fact number 39. Legendary actor Martin Sheen, famous for roles like Captain Willard in Apocalypse Now, has another claim to fame. He's been arrested 66 times. Most of these arrests stem from his passionate involvement in protests and civil disobedience, showcasing his dedication to activism alongside his illustrious Hollywood career. Fact number 40, Mythbusters co-host Adam Savage once revealed the most terrifying moment in the show's history. While investigating a myth about a widely available material rumored to be highly explosive under certain conditions, they discovered it was far more dangerous than anticipated. The team decided to destroy all footage and agreed never to disclose their findings. Savage described the experience as utterly chilling, hinting at just how close they came to an uncontrollable disaster. Fact number 41. In 1998, teenage tennis stars Venus and Serena Williams boldly issued a challenge to any male player ranked outside the world's top 200, claiming they could easily beat them. German player Karsten Braasch, ranked 203 at the time, took them up on it. After playing a round of golf and sipping a couple of shandies, Braasch beat both sisters handily. To be fair, Venus and Serena were only 16 and 17 years old at the time. Fact number 42, the British soap opera Coronation Street first aired in 1960 and holds the Guinness World Record for the longest-running television soap opera. With over 9,300 episodes and counting, the show is a beloved cultural staple in the UK, chronicling decades of drama, romance, and intrigue in the fictional town of Weatherfield. Fact number 43. Icelanders face an unusual dating dilemma due to the country's small population of around 375,000 people. To avoid the awkward possibility of dating a distant cousin, they use a special app called Íslendinga app, which lets users check their genealogical connections. Am I related to my crush? Is not just a philosophical question here, it's an essential step in modern Icelandic dating. Fact number 44. On September 11, 2001, the decision to ground every single plane in U.S. airspace was made by just one man, Ben Sliney, who was the Federal Aviation Administration's National Operations Manager. Incredibly, it was also Sliney's first day on the job. His swift and decisive action is widely credited with preventing additional tragedies on that historic day. Fact number 45. Over its 10-season run, the Friends cast became some of the highest-paid actors in television history. By the final season, each main cast member had earned a whopping $88 million. While most fans love them, one might jokingly admit to hating them just a little for their monumental success. Fact number 46. In The Shawshank Redemption, Andy Dufresne's infamous crawl through 500 yards of a sewer pipe filled with human waste wasn't nearly as grim for actor Tim Robbins. The sewage was actually chocolate syrup, giving the scene a bittersweet twist. Fun fact, the filming location still carries a faint smell of cocoa to this day. Fact number 47. Phyllis Smith, who played the beloved Phyllis Vance on The Office, never even auditioned for the role. She was originally working as a casting associate for the show when her demeanor charmed the director so much that he created a role just for her. Fact number 48. The average person has less than 2 legs. Before you argue, here's the math. While most people have 2 legs, there are more individuals with 1 leg or no legs than people with more than 2 legs. This averages out to slightly less than 2 legs per person, approximately 1.999 legs if you're counting. Fact number 49. Popeye, the iconic spinach-loving sailor, has 4 nephews named Peepeye, Pewpie, Poopeye, and Pie-Pie. While the first 3 might seem odd, it's Poopeye who drew the shortest straw. One can only imagine the playground teasing this poor fictional character would endure. Fact number 50. When Sacha Baron Cohen's Borat hit theaters in 2006, many Kazakhs were outraged by the film's portrayal of their country as a backward, absurd place. Kazakhstan's foreign ministry even threatened to sue. Ironically, the movie caused a massive surge in tourism thanks to the publicity. By 2012, the foreign minister publicly thanked Cohen for his unintentional promotional efforts as the country experienced a 10-fold increase in issued visas, dubbing it the Borat effect. Fact number 51. The reason Sesame Street's Count Von Count is a vampire obsessed with counting things is rooted in European folklore. In traditional beliefs, vampires were thought to be compulsively obsessed with details, particularly numbers, and would often count things. This quirky characteristic made him the perfect character for the show, combining the spooky with the educational. Fact number 52. A German architect named Hermann Sorgel spent much of his life promoting an outlandish idea: damming and draining the Mediterranean Sea. His plan was to create vast amounts of farmland and unite Europe and Africa into one supercontinent called Atlantropa. Unsurprisingly, his grand vision was never realized, and the Mediterranean remains a massive body of water to this day. Fact number 53. Blackcurrant, a fruit beloved by Europeans and much of the world, has a tangy, sweet flavor that is often enjoyed in beverages. However, most Americans have never tasted it. Blackcurrants were banned in the US in the early 1900s due to their role in spreading a disease among white pine trees, which were important for the timber industry. As a result, the fruit has been largely unavailable in the US for decades. Fact number 54. The smartphone in your pocket, whether it's an iPhone or another model, has more computational power than what NASA used to land on the moon. This is especially amazing when you consider that most people primarily use their phones for checking social media or sending pictures of their cats to friends. In the grand scheme of things, we have more computing power in our hands than was used for one of humanity's greatest achievements. Fact number 55. Monaco holds the title of the country with the most millionaires per capita in the world, while London leads in terms of the total number of millionaires, and New York tops the list for billionaires. It's fascinating to see how wealth is distributed in different cities and countries worldwide, with some places becoming hubs for the richest individuals. Fact number 56. In 1946, the United States attempted to buy Greenland from Denmark for $100 million in order to build a missile defense system on the island. Denmark refused to sell the territory, and Greenland has remained an autonomous territory within the Kingdom of Denmark. Fact number 57. Brace yourself for this somber fact. Approximately 93% of all humans who have ever lived are now dead. This is a staggering statistic, emphasizing the brevity of human existence compared to the vast timeline of Earth's history. Life is short, so make it count. Fact number 58. Speaking of every human ever, each person spent about half an hour as a single cell before they were born. This is the embryonic stage where humans start as a single fertilized egg that divides and grows into the complex beings we become. It's mind-blowing to think that every human being, no matter how different, started from the same humble origin. Fact number 59. If you were to remove all the empty space within the atoms of every person on Earth, the entire global human population could be compressed into a mass roughly the size of an apple. Fact number 60. Speaking of shrinking massive things down, imagine scaling down the sun to the size of a white blood cell. If this were possible, our entire Milky Way galaxy would be the size of the continental United States. Of course, shrinking the sun would destroy the solar system and make life on Earth impossible, so it's a good thing that's not going to happen anytime soon. Fact number 61. All mirrors have a subtle green tint. This happens because mirrors reflect slightly more green light than other colors, due to the materials used to make them. If you place two mirrors opposite each other, you can observe the color shift. The reflections progressively become more green as they move farther away. Fact number 62. In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, you may have admired the Nazi uniforms, especially the distinctive ones worn during the book-burning scene. However, those costumes are historically accurate. They were designed by none other than Hugo Boss. Yes, the same brand known for high-end fashion today. The uniforms seen in the movie were originally produced by the company for the German military during World War II. Fact number 63. Earth is the only known planet in the universe where fire can burn. Fire needs oxygen to sustain combustion, and while other planets may have gases and volatile elements, none have the right balance of oxygen in their atmospheres to support flames. So, the next time you're lighting a match, remember how unique Earth is in enabling that process. Fact number 64. Ismail ibn Sharif, the second ruler of Morocco's Alawite dynasty, holds the record for fathering the most children by a single man. With an astonishing 867 children, he is believed to have the highest verifiable number of offspring ever produced by one person. Quite a legacy, wouldn't you say? Fact number 65. In 2010, the US Department of Defense used a very unconventional supercomputer setup to tackle high-tech problems. 1,760 PlayStation 3 consoles hooked together. This arrangement was the fastest supercomputer available to the department at the time. Next time your grandma gives you a hard time about playing video games, tell her you're helping protect the country. Fact number 66. When Microsoft launched its own line of phones, the company held a mock funeral for the iPhone, claiming its death was imminent. In hindsight, that might have been a tad overconfident. Apple's iPhone went on to become one of the most successful tech products in history, leaving Microsoft's strategy in the dust. Fact number 67. If you could fold a sheet of paper in half as many times as you wanted, by the 103rd fold, the resulting thickness would equal the width of the entire observable universe. This phenomenon is an example of exponential growth, where even small increments become overwhelmingly large over time. It's hard to imagine such growth in a simple physical object. Fact number 68. The names Whataburger and Whataburger belong to two separate American burger chains, both founded in 1950. The surprising part? Neither restaurant had any idea the other existed until the 1970s. They were completely independent and unaware of each other for over 2 decades, an odd coincidence in the world of fast food. Fact number 69. The can-can dance, which originated in the 1840s, was once considered scandalous. It became famous for its high-energy kicks and acrobatic movements, often exposing more than just the dancer's legs. But it wasn't just about societal prudishness. Many women at the time wore panelettes, a type of loose underwear with an open crotch, making the can-can all the more revealing. It was the 19th century version of the modern twerk. And there you have it. 69 facts about anything and everything, covered. If your brain isn't swimming in randomness by now, I don't know what to tell you. But wait, if you love this, there's even more randomness waiting for you in our previous video, 69 wild and wacky facts about, well, everything. That's right, it's like this video's quirky older sibling. So go check it out if you haven't already. I promise it's worth it. Until then, next time.